What's going on, world? What's going on? How you doing, everybody? Chris Jenkins. And it seems like that's the first thing I do whenever I get on videos. Have to call for a second. But Chris Jenkins with Charlotte Vibe, credential media member that covers the Carolina Panthers. Today with my day after thoughts on what was a great time in Houston. The Carolina Panthers came out with a big victory, 16-10 over the Houston Texans. And before I get deep into this, so we're gonna cover little things like number one, number two, number three. I'm excited about going to London. So London game is in 2 weeks in London. Carolina Panthers are taking on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so at this point, I'm going to ask you to stop what you're doing, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, because your boy will be in London for the game. All right. So I can promise you that there's going to be plenty of coverage all week while they're in London. I'm staying at the team hotel. So basically, I'm living, eating, breathing Carolina Panthers when they go to London, and what is now about 2 weeks away. So I want to let you guys know that because I'm going to be talking about it a lot over the next 2 weeks. Tell a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. Give me some support. I promise you guys will like it. We'll continue to be the man of the people for that. Other news. So let's go ahead and get into it. This game that we just had this past weekend with the Texans and the Carolina Panthers. So I'm going to talk about 4 things doing this. I got to stop putting my hand up because you guys can't see me when I put my hand up. I'm going to talk about 4 things. That'll be Christian McCaffrey, how many touches he had, Kyle Allen, his performance, Jarius Wright and his catch, as well as the defense and how well they did, including some guys that, haven't been contributing much. They were able to contribute pretty good. So let's go. First, we're going to start with Christian McCaffrey and how many touches he's getting. So I had beef with this a few years back when we had CJ Anderson. All right, I could say I wasn't dead on with that one. Christian has proven himself to be a spectacular running back that can just do everything for us, right? So won't be mad at that part right there with Christian McCaffrey. I'm sorry, last year. But this year, I think the number was like 30-something touches that he ended up having. He had 37 touches. So here's where I have beef with this, with Christian McCaffrey. We have some young, and I definitely want to hear everybody's comments on this one, but hear me out. We have some young, very extremely talented wide receivers in DJ Moore and Curtis Samuels. I mean, these two are the youngest duo of wide receivers in the NFL, and they are talented. They can both run after the catch like no other. They both have very good hands. Why are we gonna, limit their growth and limit their touches by giving them to Christian McCaffrey? Now, I'm fine with Christian McCaffrey being a check off guy. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't, I had to flew back in today, haven't had a chance to rewatch that game to say, okay, I get it. DJ Moore and Curtis were covered. So they had to come down. Then I also say, what about Greg Olsen? And then I also say, well, why don't Norv Turner do more creative things to make sure that you're getting touches to these guys? I mean, why not continue to boost their confidence? Get them some play. And at the same time, when you're getting those young guys involved, you're giving them a chance to develop more. They're getting more touches. They're getting more real, run with the ball time. You're giving Christian McCaffrey rest. And then when we get, let's say we are making that Super Bowl push that we all hope that we go to make, right? Well, I can guarantee you Christian McCaffrey is going to start to wear down. Guarantee it. We're talking like week 17, week 18, week 20. If we make it that far, why not have stroked the egos of DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel and get in the ball sometimes? I mean, heck, if I was those guys, I wouldn't publicly go and say, oh, man, I'm mad. I'll say, yeah, I'm just whatever we got to do to win. And for the most part, I would feel like whatever we got to do to win. But it's like you telling me I'm a dedicated wide receiver, bona fide talent, first-round draft pick, and you can't even throw me the ball more than you throw the running back the ball? Like, what's up with that? I don't think it's a huge issue, but I do think it's something that I really wish that they would balance out more because we have too much other talent that we need to be getting the ball to. Continue to leave your comments below. I will definitely get to him if I have not already. So I'm going to say what's up to a few people. Heathcliff, Chris Johnson. Nover's going to kill CMC. Yeah, he doesn't need like DJ Moore can catch short balls. I mean, they got all kinds of screen type plays that they could do to get the ball out of Kyle's hands quickly if they're feeling like the pressure's getting to him and we don't have to worry, and we're worrying about ball control, and get it to either one of those guys. Heck, you could even run Curtis Samuel a few more times because it seemed like Curtis is good for at least one run per game. Anyway, so that's one of my thoughts on day after thoughts on the game from yesterday. Next, I'm going to get to Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen had a pretty solid game yesterday, 24 for 32, 232 yards. What was absolutely bad was his fumbles, 3 fumbles. I talked about it yesterday, so I'm not going to talk about that too much, but I think the win definitely covered up that mistake a lot. I think if we didn't win, we'd be all over the team about Kyle Allen and his fumbles. Now, everything else that he did was fine. I mean, he's throwing 70%. He's very accurate and pretty good at moving around in the pocket. But let me get on this one just about Kyle Allen and my latest thoughts on, does Cam Newton deserve a chance once he gets back? Because this is something I talked about last week. Said, hey, I can't say after one game, but certainly if he plays at the superior level that he played at last week, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Yeah, Cam, you got to wait. But this game right here, still really good. I'm not saying it was bad at all, but I feel like at this rate, you're a very good, solid quarterback. Cam Newton gets healthy 100%. You got to give Cam 7 years, 8 years, MVP, all that stuff that he brings to this team, another dynamic that Kyle doesn't bring. You got to give him a chance. Yes, you can have him on a short leash, but at this point, I say give Cam his chance once he gets healthy. All right, moving on. I'm going to talk about Jarius Wright's catch. Man, that thing was pretty bad. So I didn't talk about it yesterday, so that's why I wanted to include it on my day after thoughts today, because that catch by Jarius, if you could look at it from a different angle where you can see the whole field and see how he runs this route, and he's kind of running down the seam, and Kyle throws it, I guess you could say back shoulder, but it was a back shoulder fade, if you will. And to get it, Jarius had to run backwards a few steps and then jump and twist his body and make that catch. So I just wanted to bring that up in my day after thoughts to give Mr. Jarius Wright a little salute on what was a truly incredible catch. Yes, Christian McCaffrey as well had a catch that was pretty darn spectacular. I give Christian McCaffrey the nod on which catch was better. But again, just want to give a shout out to Jarius for his catch there. I'm going to come to you guys. I see some comments are coming up, which is good. I appreciate those comments. Once I get through my little spiel, I'm going to come back, which I only have one more thing to talk about. And, let me go back. I forgot to show you guys this graphic about this. No, I won't go back to that. But I'm just going to go forward and talk about the play of the defense, which was pretty spectacular. So let's bring this up. Everybody have a look at this right now. Shaq Thompson, heck of a game. 12 tackles, 1 sack. Overall, our defense, I believe we had 6 sacks yesterday. I didn't look at that stat beforehand, but I'm pretty sure it was 6. Luke Kuechly, as always, a beast with 8. But here's some good contributions, right? We got Bruce Irving, which came back from being out. This was his first game back. He had 2 tackles, including a sack. I couldn't fit everybody on the graphic. That's how you know you're having a great game, when you can't even fit everybody on the graphic. But you had Vernon Butler coming in there getting a sack. He was kind of cut off here. But yeah, Javian Elliott, Mario Addison, who not only balled out, but he was being recognized by Deion Sanders. Got the call after the game to go and talk with Deion Sanders. So Mario Addison there has 2 sacks yesterday, and I think I saw a graphic somewhere today where he has more sacks than about 5 other NFL teams, which is pretty good. And as always, if you follow me, here's the benefit of following me. I like to share behind-the-scenes information of things I see and what it's like being a journalist. I was due to talk to Mario Addison yesterday in the locker room, and he was like, "You want to talk to me?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I thought, I don't have a personal relationship with him, but sometimes we do talk personally. But it took me a second for me to get what he was saying, which was he had to go because Deion Sanders was about to call him. So if you haven't seen that, check out my Twitter and Instagram. I reposted his conversation that he had with Deion Sanders, getting him the call. So that was exciting for him. Glad for him. He is definitely balling out. Kudos, Carolina Panthers again, 2-2. Next up, Jacksonville Jaguars, and then we head across the pond to take on Tampa Bay and London, and I will be there. So again, subscribe, tell a friend. It's going to be a lot of coverage, a lot of cool things. So let me go ahead and go back to these comments. I always appreciate the comments, and that's why I do these live shows, is to interact with you all. Did I ask about Jordan Scarlett? Heathcliff, I feel like I was supposed to, but I forgot. So if you don't mind reminding me, what did I say about Scarlett? So I can get that back straight. And then, sorry, I got distracted. Who's our second running back? They don't play nobody but C-Mac. Oh, my boy Fred McGee, I see you over there on Twitter. You said until that play, you forgot Butler was on the team. Yeah, Butler's definitely had a season of some disappointment. But man, hey, maybe that could be the kick. I don't think anybody would be mad if that kick starts. Vernon Butler having a pretty good season. But yeah, it was like, wow, Vernon Butler out there getting a little piece of the action. But that could be a result of, guys say all the time, once it starts, it kind of can build. You see another guy do good, you see another guy make a play, you see another person get a sack, so it just starts to build. It might give you something extra that you didn't have previous to that. So, give him his due for what he did. Norv is going to kill C-Mac, too many touches. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just too many, especially when you got other solid weapons. Like if we didn't have some very solid wide receivers, I might say I get it. And I still see how it could happen sometimes, but I don't think it should have happened yesterday. Who's our second running back? They don't play nobody but C-Mac. Yeah, Bonafon's our second running back. And so that's it. I want to jump on here and give you guys that update. Personal story, which again, I like to connect and share some things. My son finally graduates from Marine boot camp. I hope that's a proper terminology. I know some people out there in the military might be, that's wrong. He graduates from boot camp in Paris Island. He's been gone since 4th of July. Been killing me, but so I will be doing you'll notice some different backgrounds for the rest of the week whenever I do my videos, because I will be in South Carolina celebrating with him, but I will continue to bring you all updates on the Carolina Panthers. And certainly if there's comments, questions about the team, don't stop. Keep sending them. Leave your comments below. I love working for y'all. I like to earn my title, man of the people. So leave those comments, leave those tweets. About to sign off. Let me check one more time on both the airwaves here if we have any other remaining questions. The offense will look horrible with Cam under center. After Allen, a healthy Cam isn't an accurate Cam, just a running Cam. All the weapons on offense love getting accurate passes from Kyle Allen. Hey, I can't disagree with you. I definitely say even a healthy Cam, I don't feel like he will be as sharp of a passer as Kyle, but I do think that other dynamic of him running is very powerful, and I feel like Cam did become more accurate last year when he put some shorter passes into his arsenal. So no, I don't think it'll be tit for tat in an accuracy, but I feel like the other dynamics of Cam does give him a nod over Kyle if he's playing well. How about my guy Sly? Yeah, Joey Sly is definitely my dude. I plan on talking to him and getting him on the show. Probably won't be able to set that up this week because, again, I'm going to be working remote for the rest of the week. But I really feel like he'll come on the show. So look out for Joey Sly coming on the show. I haven't started my series yet. Look back on my YouTube channel. You'll see I do plenty of interviews with these guys, and my interviews aren't really X's and O's. Just me hanging out with the guys, talking to them as people, letting you all get to know them as people. So that series should kick off next week. So be on the lookout for that. What's my son doing after the boot camp? Well, he still has to go through 30 days of combat training in Jacksonville, and then he has to go through job school training. So for the rest of the year, he's pretty much full-time with the Marines, but basically one more month until I get to have him back as regular communication with him. Do you think we needed to add a tight end to help our offensive line? Nah, I think our tight ends are pretty good. Unfortunately, Chris Manhertz did suffer a concussion yesterday, but I feel like we'll be fine. I know Greg went out last year and we didn't have to make any additions. You also got, we have a fullback in Alex Armour, which I believe definitely provides some flexibility in that tight end position. So we'll be fine with the current personnel that we have on that end. You asked me about reps for Ian Thomas and Jordan Scarlett last week. Okay. Yeah, I did look into the Ian Thomas question from last week. I didn't go to look into that Scarlett, but I mean, I can assure you the Scarlett thing is he's not going to get any touches. Yeah, I mean, he's not. And I get it because Christian McCaffrey is so dynamic. He makes the defenses respect you in a different way than any other running back could. So I'm okay with Scarlett not getting any touches right now. Maybe as he develops and they see some more things out of him in practice, they can bring him up. But I'm okay with it right now. And excuse my voice, I forgot to bring up my water. So, sorry. Marine Papa, yeah, I will be a Marine Papa. I will be crying, and I don't think I'm gonna cry when I first see him. I didn't tell you guys, I got my first call from him Saturday, and it lasted every bit of about a minute. And our minute, you guys may laugh and be happy about this, but he asked me about the Panthers, and I'm thinking, man, you've been gone for 3 months. I'd like to know what you've been doing. I know how the Panthers have been doing. I've been there, but I would like to know how my son's been doing. So, what if C-Mac get hurt? Man, so that's a good question. If Christian McCaffrey gets hurt, you know, Bonafide, and I got to look. Oh, you know what? I can say it. I remember to bring in my cheat sheet. I don't know if you guys can see this good or not. Is this upside down? It is. Here we go. So check that out right there. Can you see it? That is tips on how to pronounce players' names. They give this in the press box, and I brought it home so I could get these guys' names right. So, let me see if I can find it on here. Don't tell me his name's not on here. Marquise, I'm sure I'll allude to it. Taylor, F.A., Michael. Wow. That's like Murphy's Law. His name isn't on here. I try to feel bad because that means this should be easy to say, right? His name isn't on here. I mean, so I'm going to show you, see if you can see this one more time. So that right there is how you phonetically say some of these guys' names that may be hard to say. But anyway, Reggie Bonafide, I think would be capable. This wouldn't be a Christian McCaffrey. He did pretty good in the preseason. Definitely be a little downgrade. Cam thinks he'll be back for the 49ers game. You know, if Cam's saying that, that's cool. He's definitely ruled out this Sunday versus the Jaguars. What does Kyle Allen need to do to stop fumbling the ball? Kyle said that he was going to practice this week having two hands on the ball, and some of a lot of those hits have been coming from the blind side, and you might also want to chalk that up to some inexperience of being at the NFL level, having to protect the ball a little differently than you could in college. You know, in college, you might not have defensive guys coming and trying to force that turnover so much and get that turnover so much versus in the NFL. Guys coming off the edge blindside, they're either trying to knock you out, which is kind of getting a little harder. And when I say knock you out, I don't mean knock you out the game. I'm just saying hit you pretty hard. Or what's even more better, is to knock the ball out your hand and get a turnover and possibly a strip sack for 6. So he said this week he's going to practice just having 2 hands on the ball at all times to try to eliminate that problem. So gonna go ahead and sign off. Appreciate everybody watching. Leave your comments, subscribe, tell a friend, please. Promise to be the best source of information for London. You guys are just gonna have to deal with that time zone difference. I think it's about a 5-hour time change, but I'm gonna be there working, gonna be pumping out content. We'll be pumping out live content from London just as well, so I promise you. Subscribe, tell a friend, hit the like button, and have a good night until I see you again.